It is Thursday. It's January 5th. Happy 2017. Happy New Year, everybody. So this is our monthly Client Coach Connection call. So we are very excited to regroup with everybody. I hope everybody had great holidays, and it's been wonderful to have the energy from our clients, people that are excited. They're either new clients coming on board or existing clients, maybe re-energized with the new year. It's always a fresh start. Just seems like we have an open book. So we thought it would be a really good idea to just gather together and start to share some information. And we've got Julie Apple on board. Julie Apple is a executive director with Take Shape for Life, and all that means in Take Shape for Life world is it just means she helps a lot of people. So we're very lucky to have her leading our call tonight. And Julie, I'll go ahead and turn it over to you.
All right, I think I'm unmuted. All right, so when we were kind of strategizing what we wanted to talk about, I think that the common ground was that we definitely know that this is the time of year where probably most of us feel the most motivated than any other time of the year. I know, talking to several of my clients this past week, and we can see it on our group on Facebook, the activity has just taken off because everybody is obviously excited for all that the new year holds. And I know that we've all been kind of goals planning and looking at the year ahead. But right now, I just wanted to kind of scale it back and focus in on what this new year can be, and how to take it from just what everybody else looks at it as is I'm going to start a new diet, and this is how I'm going to kickstart everything, and I'm going to do so great for the next month, and then who knows what happens after that. There is a whole lot more after just this initial motivation time. And that's where I think Take Shape for Life, obviously we set ourselves apart as a program that's more than just a diet. And we always are joking, it's when clients tell us it's a diet. No, it's not a diet. It's a health plan. It's a lifestyle. And so that's why the picture that I put up there it's far more than just what's this diet. And I found this cool image that I wanted to share with you, some of the words that were on it. I probably should have prepared and shared my screen, but one of the things that it broke down was 2 different columns. Maybe what I'll do is share it after the call, but it talked about what the words that describe a diet mentality, and then the words that describe more of a lifestyle. And I'll read them to you guys. And then I want to have Yvette, one of my clients, and Gay, and I might let Melissa pipe in too since she's on, share kind of their perspective, as they've all been walking this journey for a while. So they'll share in just a minute. But the first thing I wanted to go through is the diet mentality focuses on external rules. It's very rigid. We feel deprived. You probably feel guilty. You definitely operate in fear. You focus on weight loss. You feel very shame. There's lots of shame. You feel judgment, oppressed, and in control. And then to take it beyond the diet and make it more of a lifestyle, I thought this was incredibly powerful. It talks about we focus more on internal cues. We are a lot more flexible. You focus on being satisfied versus deprived. You focus on pleasure versus guilt. You feel more trust versus fear, empowered, nourished, compassion, acceptance instead of judgment, freedom instead of oppressed, and this is my favorite, it's in charge instead of in control. And I think a lot of us probably, maybe starting the new year, have the more diet mentality, but what I want to encourage all of us, and what I've been able to learn in my life, is it's more about balance, and it's learning the lifestyle that you can take with you. And it's not just about the here and now. What's this new motivation, this new year going to mean? It's more of okay, how am I going to make this a long-term habit, and it's going to become my lifestyle? So Yvette, are you there? Let me see if I can unmute you. Let's see. Her number, can we unmute her?
I'm not sure if you can. Just tell me her number, the last 4 digits.
Yep, it is 6652.
All right, she's unmuted.
Yvette,
hello,
can you hear us?
I'm here. Yes, I can.
Hey.
Hello.
So if you guys have
Happy New
noticed, I don't
Year.
know, the past month or so, Yvette has shared some really powerful, very honest blogs about kind of her journey and losing her first 50 pounds and then deciding, okay, I'm going to try to do this my own for a little while and then picking back up around the holidays. So Yvette, would you mind just sharing some of like the things that you talked about in your blog and the things we talked about the other night about how you've taken this more than just a diet and what your perspective is now?
Sure. Well, I guess in my blog, I'm trying to be more. I'm trying to be more honest with myself because I think the one person that I haven't been honest with is myself about being on the program and about losing weight because I'm a stressful eater and it's been very hard, especially the holidays. The holidays are stressful. No matter how easy you make it, if you go shopping all year long or whatever you do, the holidays are stressful. And no matter what you celebrate. And it's just, and I'm a stressful eater. So I just tried to put it in the blog, just, my failures when it comes to eating healthy, when it comes to making excuses, not being honest with the people that I'm around, and just trying to stop that cycle so I can continue on the program and be successful at it. Because right now it's still, not that I call it a diet, I tell myself that it's a healthier way of eating, but it's not my lifestyle yet. And that's what I strive for. I want it to be my lifestyle. I don't want it to be a second thought that, oh, I need to eat this and I need to eat this and I need to eat this and I can't eat this, can't eat this, can't eat this. So that's kind of what I've been trying to do lately and express it in my blog, when you do fail and when you do, that it's okay. But, if you're not honest with yourself about the struggle that you're having, then it's not going to work. It's just, it's not going to work. So.
Yeah. And what did we talk about, I think was really powerful the other night when we were talking, is how when you have the diet mentality, it's you sort of feel like giving up versus continuing to move forward, right?
Right, because you're thinking, oh, this is a diet, and okay, I'm on a diet, so you're checking the scale, you're checking, oh, am I losing the weight? You get discouraged if it's not going as fast as you can. If you're thinking every day, I'm on a diet, well, if you're thinking that, then you're also thinking, when is it going to end?
Exactly.
So, right. So when you change it and you start saying, I'm changing my life, I'm changing my life, I'm changing my lifestyle, I'm changing my lifestyle. That's easier because that's like steps that you're looking forward to. When you're saying I'm on a diet, it seems to me that you get the feeling, well, I'm on a diet, but that's going to end soon. That's going to end when I reach this goal. That's going to end when don't want to eat that way anymore, or I'm fed up with trying to stay on the diet. So when you're saying diet, that's what I have in my mind. Like, okay, well, it's not going to last that long. I reach my goal, my diet's going to be done. And that's where we get into trouble, because if we don't change our lifestyle, then we're going to just go back to square one.
You got it. Exactly. And it's like the yo-yo. It's just an unfortunate yo-yo effect, right?
Right. And it's, and you get, and when you're on a diet, I think you get so many highs and lows because you're really happy this day because you stuck to your diet and you ate what you could, and maybe you got in all the steps you were going to get in that day, or maybe you were able to go to the gym that day and really, oh, I did great on my diet today. And then the next day, oh, you woke up late, you couldn't get to the gym, or you couldn't pack your lunch, and you're like, oh no, so now today I failed. Well, okay, so you're on a low. Then the next day it may be another low, or it may be a high. But if you're striving to change your lifestyle, then you have a better chance of being successful. Because it's not so many highs and lows, it's plateaus that you reach when you're getting to that, okay, well, I've been able to change drinking the water, get into this thing with drinking, my water because it's better for me and it helps me and it fills me up. And, so you've reached that plateau, you've gotten to that, you're like, oh, okay, well, now I'm used to drinking water. Well, the next thing is making sure that you do your program and you stick to those things. And you can reach that level. I shouldn't say plateau, I should say level.
Yeah.
And so it's just like tiny steps of accomplishment, where with a diet, it's like, okay, am I going to stick to my diet today?
So true. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. I hope, does that resonate with anybody else that's on the call? Nod your head if you're agreeing. Yeah. We can all relate.
But yeah, and it's hard, and also too, it leads you to, I do very well at my job. I have a good position, and I'm successful with my job. So it gets discouraging sometimes when I'm not successful with my diet. But
true.
but if you want to change yourself, and everybody has different things that they want to change, whether it's a relationship, whether it's even the way your house looks, and you want to make changes. Well, you make those changes and you have those accomplishments. But with a diet, it's just, okay, when is it going to end? Let me see how long I can stay on this diet. And that's what we have to fix, that mentality.
Oh, I love it. That's so good. Thank you for sharing, Yvette. I love talking to Yvette as much as I hope she enjoys talking to me because it's so refreshing.
I do. I love it.
So
even
fun.
when she hears me rant and rave.
No, it's inspiring.
And it's a lot. I get a lot of encouragement from you, and that's what helps too. Is when you can speak to a coach that does inspire you and doesn't get down on you when you fail. Because I failed a few times, and I've had to tell her, and she's just like, okay, well, just let's. How bad do you want it? How bad do you want it? How bad do you want to be successful? So it's like, I tell you, you're encouraging me. You get me back up on that horse, and we start off again.
Keep moving forward, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yep. I love it. Thank you, Yvette. Well, one of the other, Gay is another client of mine here in Charlotte, and she has a little bit different journey because I met her at the gym where I teach classes, and Gay was extremely motivated and always, every day is motivated, not just with the nutrition, but also with workouts. And so I asked her if she would share, Dee, she is the 6878 number. We'll unmute you in one sec, Gay, but I wanted Gay to just be able to share for a second. Last night, we actually had this really unique conversation because Gay has gotten to her goal and now is actually below her goal so much that she asked me, Julie, I think I'm going to have to start gaining a couple pounds just to be sure I look healthy now. Because she's lost so much. So she's lost almost about 30 pounds, I think now. Right, Gay?
Yeah, around 30, I think.
Which is incredible because Gay is a tiny person. You can't see her face. But she's a tiny person, so 30 pounds is a lot for her. But Gay, I just wanted to ask you if you would share kind of what your mindset, how it looks different now versus maybe 6-8 months ago when we first started talking about doing the program.
Right.
What would you say?
Well, I had no idea that I would ever be down to my goal weight because I think I started out that it was a diet too. But it slowly progressed, and I had lots of, I did, because I always confessed to you every single time that I did something. I was like, oh my gosh, I messed up, and you'd be like, that's okay. So I started out slowly losing weight and making lots of mistakes and starting over. But I tried to get to the gym because I felt like that was kind of a new thing for me. I gained a bunch of weight when I had to quit running because of an injury, and this was kind of a new type of exercise I was doing, so I was kind of excited about that. So that kind of, the exercise kind of kept me on track a little bit. Like if I messed up with the program, at least I felt like I was, had something that was kind of assisting me with it. But then I kind of figured out all the changes to make. We talked about, I like glasses of wine at night with my husband. I cut all that out, and I kind of just changed my overall lifestyle with it. And it got to be where I didn't even think about it much. I just kind of, it's gotten easier for me. But I went to the doctor for a checkup, and he was like, I really don't want you to lose any more weight. And I was like, oh, okay. And I looked down and I'm like 6 pounds less than what our goal weight was. So then I had to go to Julie and say, what am I supposed to do now? Because I've got to find some balance between the exercise, which I don't exercise that much, but between the exercise and the activity and my nutrition, because I'm still getting good nutrition, but I'm going to have to up my calories. So we were talking about, how that would look, which is somewhere I never thought I'd be.
Yeah.
So
thank you.
At all, but
I think that's awesome. And I want to just encourage everybody, because I have so many clients, just like Gay, who we start out and maybe we started a year ago, and you can't see yourself being where you want to be, because that's all you've known is where you're at now. And Gay's walking proof that, just like a lot of other clients, you can reach your goal. You can even drop below your goal. And I think Gay is perfect story of it becomes second nature to you. And that's the key of making this a lifestyle, is that it becomes second nature. You don't even think about it anymore. All of a sudden it's been 3 hours and you eat a snack. So that becomes your habits, and that becomes your routine. And that's the whole point of the program. And so thanks for sharing, Gay, because you're walking proof of what lifestyle changes, what happens.
Oh, thanks. Well, and it just, your body, I think I'm more in tune to my body than I've ever been. And that's thanks to you, because you said, and it's true, that once you do this and you start eating every 2 to 3 hours, when you don't eat correctly, your body tells you, it tells you. So you get used to listening to that now. So if I don't eat right, I don't feel good. So it's really been a journey, but a good one. I'm thankful for you. Very thankful.
Oh, well, it's inspiring. You're inspiring. So, thank you. I think Melissa, are you on? I think her number, let me see if we can unmute her. I'm going to put her on the spot a little bit, because I knew she was going to be on, but I didn't give her any questions to prepare for. Let me get her number. All right, let's see. She is the 585, I believe. It starts with 585. 7151 is the last 40.
Five 715.
She ends with a 7151.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay.
So Melissa, are you there?
Yep.
Hey, okay. So if you were to tell us what is the one thing that you have learned so far being on the program, because you shared the other day in our group, and I think that started a whole trend in our honesty, like confession in the group. What would you say is the one thing that you're taking away, or you've taken away so far from doing this program? Because Melissa's knows a lot about nutrition already. What would you say?
I don't even know. To be honest, I feel like I'm still in the diet mode, because I've gotten to a weight that I've never gotten to, and I am like really thankful for this program. I guess I confess, because I'm still in the diet mode and I feel guilty for what I did. But I did learn, kind of like what the last woman was saying, my body already feels terrible when I eat off plan, or like eat off unhealthy. Like we had a New Year's party and I'm definitely indulging in some things, and my body definitely told me that night and the next day, I don't feel good. But I'm going into my second month, and I have dropped some weight and then came up a little bit because of the holidays, and now I'm really excited. The holidays are over, so I can focus more. Yeah. But I'm still learning. I'm still learning to make it. I mean, I deal with food every single day. It's on my mind all the time. It's almost like an obsessive thing, just because of what I do. And so I was just telling Jonathan downstairs with my husband before we took this call, is I really appreciate how this program calls it fueling versus like meals and snacks, because in my mind I'm fueling my body. It's not necessarily every meal has to be super fantastic, awesome, delicious, but I have to fuel my body with the right nutrients.
Yes.
And then that one lean and green meal, I really look forward to at the end of the day, because it's like, kind of like a really, it's just a good meal. I get to cook it. I get to enjoy it with, my family. But I really appreciate how they call it fueling versus, anything else. That's helping my perspective a lot.
Yeah. Takes it away from the diet mentality.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the cool thing that Melissa put in the group is that counting on community, because that that's one thing that this program is also great for, is providing community, because you guys can see in the group that you're not alone in your battle, and we have different challenges, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't look the same for everybody.
And I will say I'm super competitive and somewhat proud. And so, you know, I was like the woman, it might have been a vet that posted, where you wanted to do it yourself. I could do it myself. And so for me to rely on other people or rely on something, I felt slightly defeated when I started, but I'm slowly opening up to the group mentality and being able to be honest with people. That's very hard for me, but I really appreciate everybody's response and posts in the group.
Yeah, it helps so much. So true.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you for sharing, Melissa, and being honest. It does. It makes a difference. So I think, does anybody else have anything they want to share while we're all being honest? If you do, just raise your hand, because we have a couple minutes. And any questions or thoughts after hearing everybody share? Okay, so the only other thing I just was going to kind of add in is I definitely come from a different perspective, because I'm a trainer, and I guess I'm a little bit crazy in most average Americans' eyes in the way I operate. But one of the biggest things that I've learned, and I learned it as a kid, and so I'm always so incredibly grateful that I had a family and parents that taught me how to eat well as a kid. That has changed my life, because I learned it as a child, how to eat healthy, how to have balanced meals. And I played sports and I was an athlete growing up. But like Melissa said, learning to fuel your body is what makes all the difference in the world. And so I guess my biggest encouragement to everybody, and what I'm always encouraging clients with, is it's more about finding balance. And I think if one word probably described my life, it would probably be balance, because that's what I'm always trying to live out and trying to help other people with. And so that, I think, kind of puts all this together. And here you have this diet mentality, here you have this lifestyle. Where do you kind of meet in the middle, and where can you find some balance? And so I think if I can encourage all of you guys with anything, it's just learn where that line is for you and what balance looks like for you, because none of us can operate in either one extreme or the other. It's just not sustainable, and it's not going to be a lifetime. It's something we can't do. So if a party comes your way and you have one glass of wine, hey, you know what? Celebrate that you only had one glass of wine instead of having the whole bottle. There's always a positive way to look at something. And I just try to look at that with clients. And that's why I always say to them, I'm like, don't worry. Like, there is something that you have learned and something positive that has happened that you should celebrate, versus feeling defeated and all those negative words that we kind of put on ourselves. So hopefully that encourages you guys to hear these stories. And anything else, Vicki, Dee, or anybody else wants to add in, feel free.
That was excellent. I really appreciate it. I think that each of our guests, Julie did a great job. I think the insights on that dieting versus lifestyle, that's just something we're all growing into. I think the way of the world is this diet mentality, this short term. And I think that Yvette and Gay and Melissa sharing just really put the realness behind it, and that it is a growth for all of us. So I think the things I heard, which was really nice, was, Yvette was talking about the importance of being honest with herself and her emotions, and when things don't go well, just kind of trying to figure out what that was about. And she mentioned the importance of her relationship with you, and that you help lift her back up. And so that just shows that importance of community. And and Gay is just such a great example of somebody, she didn't think it was possible, and then she went beyond her goal. So that she had to be that just reflects she was being very intentional with her eating beyond reaching the goal. And then that can't be easy. And then of course Melissa, being fairly new in the journey, experiencing those swings and realizing, I do need support. And so that's what we're trying to offer here. So I think it is valuable. And what we hope is that, as you enter this program, Julie, you and I were talking about it a little bit, like we come into it from a mentality. This probably isn't the first time to the rodeo for most of us. We probably tried to lose weight before we found this program. And, so we kind of came into it before with like this roller coaster, we're good, we're doing good, we're up, and then crash, and then good, and then crash. And the reality is it's probably never going to be a perfect flat road, but those bumps, we're hoping trying to get it down to a baby roller coaster, that those swings happen less often, the recovery is quicker, less negative self-talk. So that's the direction we're heading, and we're all in a different place with it, but hopefully you find yourself each day a little further than you were before. So that was good. Very good, Julie. Well, we thank you guys for being here. We've got lots of good stuff, so much support available to you guys. Take advantage of our Facebook group, the Eat, Live, and Be Healthy. We do ask you to post and like or share, make comments, because that's what will keep the activity showing up in your news feed. If you've ever noticed things disappear, it's just really the way Facebook's algorithms work. We have the health games coming up. It's an optional tool that we offer to our clients that really is great for engaging on another level. I'll be posting information about that tomorrow. The next 6-week round of games begins on Monday, the 9th. And so that's probably the biggest things we can offer. Stay in touch with your coach, and we'll see you next month on the first Thursday of the month. Thanks, you guys.
Happy New Year, y'all.
Yeah. Bye.